welcome back to BLOCKTV. It's time now for Chain Breakers. And the crypto data space is at a critical juncture, with government regulators citing lack of transparency and clear data as critical to their inability to properly regulate the space. As numerous private actors run rampant, manipulation is all over the sphere. So in order to keep on top of the market and find out what the latest trends are, we turn over to the experts at CoinGecko, and I speak now with co-founder Bobby Ong. Bobby, thanks so much for being with us.
Pleasure, good to be here.
All right, well, a busy week, Bobby, to be sure. So much happening in and around the sphere. So to kick us off today, let's bring up this interesting DeFi exploit, if that's the right word for it, that's come up, arbitration opportunity, slippage opportunity, whatever it might be. But the bZx exploit that has now been utilized twice by fraudsters, hackers, or scammers. Bobby, what can you tell us about it? What are your thoughts on this for DeFi in general?
Yeah, it's been a really busy week, a lot of drama happening in the crypto week this week, but let's talk about the bZx hack first. There's been two hacks that happened. The first one happened on the Valentine's Day during ETH Denver, where a total of 1,200 ETH was hacked and was stolen, worth about $350,000 US. There was a second hack that happened on Tuesday where 2,300 ETH was stolen, was exploited, went to the hackers, worth a total of $633 million. In total, about $1 million was lost. Makes you wonder whether, a lot of people are wondering if DeFi is really safe after all these things. bZx has paused the contract, but this opens up another question where people are wondering if DeFi is actually decentralized at all when the team can actually pause the smart contract. A lot of them stem from the flash loans that bZx just put in place, and this is probably one of the reasons the hackers have been exploiting is basically the Oracle problem, and it just shows that the bZx team hasn't really been very robust in their implementation of the DeFi application. bZx was previously the 7th largest DeFi app with over 25,000 ETH locked, worth about $16 million US. The ETH lock has fallen by about half since the second exploit, and yeah, I would say that this exploit is not surprising to me. I predicted this at the start of the year that something bad would happen to DeFi applications, and I would say that this is probably the start of the many hacks that will happen throughout the year. All these exploits and DeFi applications being shown their vulnerabilities, which is also very interesting because people will start being aware of all the risks in DeFi, and we'll probably see a growth in DeFi insurance coming forward. So providers such as Nexus Mutual and Opin will probably grow as a result from this.
So Bobby, then does this represent a sort of a teething experience for DeFi? Obviously that industry is still in its infancy. Is the market treating this as an acceptable testing phase, or is this really the sort of thing that could kill off a lot of interest in DeFi as a whole?
I think bZx is not the largest DeFi application, so the impact is still rather minimal. It's not it's not an event that will kill off DeFi as a whole. So I think it's still manageable. We just open up a lot of, make people much more aware of all the risks inherent in DeFi. So I would say that this is a good development because people has been very optimistic of all the promises of DeFi without looking at the risks. And this clearly shows that DeFi is not without risk.
Certainly, plenty of risks out there. But of course, not just limited to DeFi. FCoin exchange has just announced they're going insolvent, bringing down a reasonably well-known exchange out there. Bobby, what impact do you think this has on the industry at a time when the market is pretty bullish? Surprising to see an insolvency at this stage.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising to hear FCoin going bankrupt, going insolvent. The founder, which was previously Huobi CEO, Jian Zhang, said that FCoin is defaulting on roughly 7,000 to 13,000 BTC. I find this absurd in the sense that they don't know how much they are losing. The variance is 6,000 Bitcoin, and that is a huge amount of money. So if you take 13,000 BTC, that's roughly 130,000 US dollars. That's a lot of money. FCoin, of course, we know is the first exchange that did trans fee mining. It's an incentive where traders are incentivized to trade among themselves, to rack up trading volume, to get rebates in the form of FT tokens. I think there was some big incompetency from the FCoin team in the sense that the FCoin token dropped by a significant margin, over 90%, and they bought up the token, propping up the token price, and they did pretty badly that they are now insolvent. In a sense, whether this have a larger impact on the overall industry, I don't think this will impact the overall industry. FCoin is known for manipulating their exchange volume, and it's a relatively small exchange. It wants to be big, but it tried all kinds of methods, but could not manage to get into the mainstream. So it's just rather muted. But I would say that the impact of this hack affects most of the traders in China, mostly in China. It's really popular there. So I mean, it's really sad that the people in China, on top of the coronavirus, some of them traders are suffering a hack from insolvency from FCoin as well.
Right, certainly one to watch out there in the trading market. But moving along from the trading to the social media space, Steemit, previously running on its own blockchain, now migrating across to the Tron blockchain. A fascinating partnership and one that's left many pretty bemused. What's your take on this, Bobby?
Yeah, I would say that Steemit has not been performing really well. If you look at the price, its all-time chart, you look at it, it used to be trading at $1.8 at one point, and now it's gone down pretty much 90% from its all-time high. It's trading about 16 cents at this point in time. Steem used to be the darling of the community. It used to have a lot of utility it provides. It shows how blockchain can be used for a decentralized social media platform. It aims to be the Reddit of the industry, but the price, and there's a lack of development in this space. But what I would say that Justin Sun made a tremendous effort. I think he's a very good marketer. Buying Steemit is a very good expansion of his Tron empire, I would say, because Steemit has, at the end of the day, it still has a community, a good, solid number of people who wants to ride and get incentives, which in the form of Steem tokens. And so the hard part now for Justin's Tron network is to successfully integrate Steem and its community into the Tron network. There will be some pushback, but if it's done properly, Tron will be able to add all these people into the Tron network, people who are active on the Steem community. So yeah, I think a verdict is still out on what's the exact integration plan. Steem, as we know, is a standalone token, has its own witness and decentralized proof of stake network. How do you plan to migrate all these witnesses into the Tron ecosystem is something that is to be decided and debated upon. And the decisions that Justin and team makes at Tron will highly impact if the community stays or leave the Steem blockchain. Yeah, that's my take on it.
It's certainly an interesting one to see how that does change the face of the industry. But speaking of industries changing face, of course, we have to talk and touch on one of the biggest stories of this week regarding freezing and controlling and hacking elements of blockchains across the crypto space. Of course, we're talking about IOTA, which decided to freeze its blockchain coming after a wallet hack that seemed to threaten the whole chain as a whole. This is a pretty staggering move for a blockchain to actually pause and freeze its entire operations. What do you make of this, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that the IOTA Foundation can even do such a thing. Like, how is it possible that a blockchain that's supposedly decentralized can be stopped by one single party? The IOTA Foundation wanted to do this because there was a vulnerability in the Trinity wallet that was released by the foundation. The amount lost is unknown, but estimates put it around 300K to 1.5 million US dollars. They've just released a fix, but it's pretty surprising that one party can put a stop to it. It's been a week full of hacks and insolvencies. We saw how bZx can put a pause to the smart contract platforms as well, how FCoin just suddenly shut down. It's very dangerous, all these things, I would say.
Certainly, a lot of danger does seem to be out there, and a few realizations being made about the industry that perhaps were kept in the dark up until now. Bobby Ong, thanks so much for helping to bring some of these things to light. Important for our viewers to see. So those watching, stay with us at blocktv.com for all the latest news and information. I'm Asher Westrop Evans. Thanks for watching.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter